Hi, this is Frank with a Frank Opinion. I wanted to present today a short video describing some information that I think it's important for every American to have on why the Republican tax bill has to be stopped in its tracks. What all these numbers represent is a concept fairly simple. So what you have here is data from the U.S. Census Bureau that it's been capturing since 1967 to last year, 2016, and it's going to continue to do that until the occupant in the White House decides that the Census Bureau is something he doesn't like. But in any case, so we have here the fifth in quintiles, the different segments of our total population as a percentage of the aggregate income, the total income earned by everyone in our country, broken down by fifths. Okay? So here you have the lowest fifth, second fifth, third fifth, and so on. And let me give you what these mean numbers represent. So in terms of this, we're looking at $12,943. That's the mean household income of the lowest fifth of our population. In the second fifth, $34,500. In the third, $59,000, kind of classically viewed as traditional middle class. Fourth fifth is $95,000 here. Highest fifth is $214,000. So there you have it broken down by each 20% of our population, what their mean is. The top 5% in terms of mean household income for 2016 was $375,000. That's the top 5%. If you look at the 1% and the 0.1%, you're talking at about astronomical numbers. So to give you an example, the average CEO pay in 2016, Chief Executive Officer of Corporations in the United States, was $11,500,000. So that's when you get into the stratosphere. So what do these numbers show? Basically, from 1967 to 1980, everybody's income, household income, as a share of total income of the United States, all workers, all people that earn income, kept on going up pretty much the same. Okay? There weren't any tremendous gaps. But in 1980 to 2016, we saw major drop-offs in the share that the three lowest fifths of our population, those earning between $12,943 and $59,000. It also included a small drop-off from a 24.7% share of our total income for the fourth highest group, which was $95,000. It only went down a couple of percentage points. But here we see dramatic in the first three. And what we see here in the top fifth of earners, those making $214,000 and up, and $375,000 meaning the top 5%, they saw their income from 1980 go up tremendously. Now understand that where is the greatest population growth? It's here in the first three. We're not talking about the population of the millionaires going up by leaps and bounds. We're talking about ordinary Americans. So the combination of a drop in share in total income spread out over a greater population presents even a more dismal picture between 1980 and 2016. Reagan tax cuts, 1981, 1986. Bush tax cuts, 2001 and 2003. This was supposed to be your supply side, trickle down. If we cut taxes on corporations and the wealthy, they're going to invest, they're going to create jobs, they're going to wake up one day and say, hey, let me increase the wages of my workers. Not exactly. This is not the way it turned out. And it's not going to turn out in this Republican tax bill. They are lying to you. And by the way, when you catch MSNBC and CNN and other programs that you watch, begin to wonder why this simple piece of information here that's right in our US Census Bureau, why can't they spend a few minutes on this as opposed to, what one of these guys that were at that Russian meeting and whatever is doing for lunch. Fact, not alternative facts, not fake news. The Republican tax policies have failed Americans, and the current Republican tax bill is the most devastating. I cannot begin to tell you the unbelievably negative effects that this tax bill is going to have on our country. I'm back again. If you have this tax bill go through, if it passes, if Susan Collins doesn't wake up one day and say, what am I doing? Medicare for all, you can kiss it goodbye for quite a few years because you need money to do that. Our nation's infrastructure, think water mains in Flint, Michigan. Think our roads, bridges that are decaying, subway systems, transportation systems. Kiss it goodbye. Remember, they needed $1 trillion for that. Education and workforce preparation, job training, in order to keep up with robotics and technology and where the world of work is going. Repairing and rebuilding our inner cities. This is where reparations for African slaves, in my opinion, comes in. And inner city areas is also Hispanics and Native and others. And certainly, when we're talking about repairing and rebuilding inner cities, we're talking about the money that has not been allocated for years. That's, to me, reparations, but that's for another video. And rebuilding Puerto Rico and other areas that have been devastated lately, this year by hurricanes and in the past. Rebuilding Puerto Rico. These are American citizens and have been and will continue to be. And last but not least, another thing that you can kiss goodbye are our so-called entitlements, which are not entitlements. They are rights. At risk is Social Security, which you pay into, Medicare, which you pay into, and Medicaid, to provide some empathy, some caring for those that in our civilization, they're going to be winners and losers, don't keep up, or have kept up but suddenly lose their job and need some way to survive until their next job. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, they have all indicated that they're going to come after those after they create the huge deficit that's going to be created by the Republican tax bill. There are two things that we have to do. Stop the tax bill, that's a now situation, and we've got to go for the 2018 midterms and change Congress dramatically. I want to go back to this because the architect of this here, the one that stands out for me is Paul Ryan. And he stands out because supposedly he's a devout Catholic. I went to Catholic school. I was an altar boy. Went to St. Elizabeth's, went to St. Paul the Apostle, and spent a couple of years at Power Memorial Academy. And let me tell you, at Power Memorial, if you acted out, you talked to your friends, your classmates too much, you did something wrong, you spent a lot of time in detention. Brother McLaughlin, Irish Christian brother, would come and get you and take you out and put you downstairs for a few hours after school. I think Paul Ryan deserves about a month of detention. Don't you?